yesterday.
The copyright is generated upon
video
inception.
That you captured of your then husband.
So it would be your
yes?
copyright.
That is correct. I did capture that video, and yes, that was my husband.
The same cabinet video that was released the night before you were deposed in your divorce. Yes?
That's correct.
Okay. You must have also heard Mr. Tremaine testify that the version of the cabinet video that TMZ received was incomplete compared to the video the jury saw in this trial. Did you hear that?
Yes.
The video that that you have seen is complete.
Right. But the one TMZ got the day before your deposition in the divorce was incomplete.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
He testified that the beginning portion of the video where you set up the camera, that wasn't included in the video that TMZ received.
I don't know what video TMZ received.
I'm talking about Mr. Tremaine's testimony, Ms. Hurd. Let's just
You're
focus on
asking me
Mr.
to
Tremaine.
repeat his testimony?
No, I'm asking you if you recall hearing him say those words to this jury.
Yes, I heard his testimony. We all did.
And he testified at the end of the video where you can be seen smirking. I know you testified earlier that you haven't been smirking in this trial, but you sure were caught on camera smirking in that video.
I disagree with that.
Was also not included in the TMZ video.
Everyone can watch that video and you can determine whether you think it's funny to me or not.
They did.
That's because the video came
That's why
from
they're
you,
attacking
right,
you on
Ms. Hurd?
social media.
No, it did not.
You edited
that video
out
did
the
not
portions.
come to me. Come from me.
Ms. Hurd, you edited out the portions that made you look bad before sending it to TMZ.
Thanks for the 50 cents.
You're very wrong about that.
Thank you so much.
So
If
that
I
only
wanted to
Mr.
leak
Depp
information, I
looked
could have
bad.
done it in a more effective way, a lot sooner and a lot more.
Because you
I
knew
was
exactly
living
how to
with
do
a
that,
mountain
right?
of this evidence. If I wanted to leak it, I could have done a lot more with it.
A mountain? It's more
But
like
you
a molehill.
testified earlier in this trial that you didn't know how to leak things.
I
Remember
don't.
that?
So then how
You
could...
edited that video before you gave it to TMZ so that only Mr. Depp would look bad. Yes?
That's absurd.
Right in the middle of your divorce proceedings.
Again, you're very wrong.
Man.
I'd like to show you a
just contradicted
picture
herself?
that's already admitted into
Yep.
evidence. It's Defendant's Exhibit 799.
She's cooking her holy shit, yeah.
This is you
Once
at the
again,
courthouse
thank you
on
so
May
much.
27th, 2016, when you got your domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp, right?
It is.
And next to you is a woman named Jody Gottlieb, right?
Yes,
That's her
yes.
publicist.
Jody Gottlieb is your publicist.
And dear friend.
Now I'd like to show you what's been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 1316. This is a picture of you and your friend Rocky Pennington, right?
That is correct.
Your Honor, I'd like to move to admit this photograph.
Okay, let's see.
Any
it.
objection to
So it is
1316?
25 good subs. Thank you guys for all the gifteds. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
No, Your Honor.
All right, 1316 in evidence. You can publish to the jury.
This is a picture of you on May 28th, 2016, right, Ms. Hurd?
I don't know when this was taken.
This is the day after you obtained the domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp, right?
I have no idea when this image was taken. I did not take it.
There's no bruise on your face in this picture, is there?
Again, I don't know when this was taken, and also I'm outside. I was obviously wearing makeup. I have no idea when this was taken, so I have no idea if I can
Let's
speak to
refresh your
what
recollection.
bruise you can
Let's
see or
refresh
not.
your recollection about when this picture was taken.
Good
can
idea.
you please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1315, just for the witness?
Yeah, let's see it. Enjoy. Thanks for the Fox. Thank you.
This is an article dated May 30th, 2016, right, Ms. Hurd?
That's what it says, yes.
And this article contains the same photograph of you and Miss Pennington we were just looking at. Yes?
God damn. No makeup.
Yes, I see that.
It didn't
And
look
the
like she had a
article
lot
is
on.
entitled Amber Heard Smiles as She Puts Arm Around Friend One Day After Getting Restraining Order Against Johnny Depp.
Man,
Is that what the title says?
look at that.
I know that's what the title says, yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to admit and publish the
All right,
article
yep,
with
there it
everything
is.
but the headline and date.
They
and the
were
photo
expecting her to
redacted.
say it was a lie, and so they got the article ahead of time,
Objection, Your Honor.
predicting
That's
this to happen.
inconsistent from the way you treated all of these.
I'll sustain the objection. All right, next question.
Let's take a look at picture Plaintiff's Exhibit 1317.
Okay.
This is also a picture of you and Miss Pennington on May 28th, 2016, isn't it?
I don't know when this photo was taken, but it looks like the same outing as the picture prior.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to admit and publish Plaintiff's Exhibit 1317.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
1317 in evidence. You can
Let's see it. I want to see it. Let's get it. I want to get
There's no
it.
bruise on your face in this picture either, right?
We saw this one.
I disagree. If it is taken when you represent it was taken, then obviously there's a bruise on my face. It's covered by makeup as per usual.
Let's zoom out of that picture for a moment, please. Thanks, Tom. That's Josh Drew in this picture, right?
Yes.
That's the guy.
And Miss Pennington
That is correct.
in there too? Miss
That is
Pennington submitted a sworn statement on your behalf in support of your domestic violence restraining order, didn't she?
Yeah,
I believe she did, yes.
she did.
Mr. Drew also submitted a statement in support of your domestic violence restraining order.
I believe they both did, yes.
They did.
Ms. Hurd, I'd like to show you Defendant's Exhibit 512, which is already in evidence.
Okay, let's see it. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, makeup?
You've seen this photograph before, right?
I have.
On the second day of your direct testimony, you testified that this was taken in the downstairs of the main apartment on December 15th, 2015. Do you recall that testimony?
Yes, I believe so.
So it's your testimony that Defendant's Exhibit 512 reflects damage to Penthouse 5 that occurred during the December 15th, 2015 incident. Yes?
I'm not quite sure from what incident this is when I see this photo in a vacuum without context.
She
Let's give you that
suddenly
context.
forgot everything.
Can we please
Bro, she's forgetting
have day
everything
16
now.
trial testimony?
Bro, I don't remember, like, oh man. I don't know, dude.
All right.
Oh, dude, I have no idea. Like, she had makeup on. Like, did it look like she had makeup on? I'm gonna be honest. Like, I can kind of tell whenever a girl is and is not wearing makeup. But like, I'm not really an expert on this kind of shit. I never really have worn makeup before. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So it certainly looked like
Could
she
you
didn't
please
have
turn
makeup on.
first to page
looked like that.
4585?
Okay. Here we go. Let's see it. Forget everything. Blame everyone. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, one sec.
So you're an expert? Well, according to Amber Heard's team, yeah. Yeah, of course. I'm an expert in makeup.
Specifically on starting on line 16, where it says, let's talk about December 15th, 2015.
You said 458. I'm on 4485. Sorry, you said 4585.
4585.
Pardon.
Line 16.
Okay. Was bad she didn't want to make up. There's also swelling, and you can see on the angle of her face, you would have seen probably like some sort of what's the word for it? Like a
Line 16, where it says, let's talk about December 15th, 2015. You see that?
Yes.
And then do you see that your testimony
Yeah,
about December
you're right.
15th, 2015 follows?
Let's see. It's just the first line or two.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'd like you to turn to page 4603.
Stalling? Smart. Trying to buy time?
Starting
I
at
would
line
too.
12.
This is a bad time for her.
4603. Starting at line 12 and going on to page 4604, line 4.
Okay.
And do you see that you testify that Defendant's Exhibit 512, which is on the screen,
Yes,
is a picture of the downstairs of the main apartment?
that's correct.
And the main apartment is Penthouse 5 in the Eastern Columbia building, right?
No, well, depends on what. The main apartment's penthouse 3. Generally, when we say main apartment,
Penthouse 5 was where you had your closet?
the downstairs was kind of like had some of my painting studio set up and a reception area. Upstairs was the closet.
Got it.
Mezzanine office was in between.
All right, so it's your testimony that Defendant's Exhibit 512 reflects damage to the Penthouse 5, that occurred during the December 15th, 2015 incident, right?
I'm just not sure from which incident this is a picture of, since I'm only looking at
Even
a
though your
partial
counsel
floor.
was asking you questions about December 15th, 2015,
Why is she
and then
pretending like
admitted
she
this picture into evidence
Again,
in
in
relation to that incident.
Sorry, go ahead.
In relation to that incident on December 15th, 2015. This exhibit, defendant's exhibit, you are the defendant, number 512, was admitted into evidence in this court. You testified that this was the result of damage that occurred on December 15th, 2015. Yes or no?
She's mad.
I just need to orient myself because I'm just looking at a picture of a partial picture of a
Ms. Heard,
floor,
you didn't just
so
look
I
at a
can't.
picture. You looked at your testimony.
You pointed me towards the page and then asked me a question. I haven't actually reviewed it. I don't know if this was
She's
submitted
getting fucking
in
roasted.
relation to
Holy
that
shit.
incident.
Let's actually leave up defendant's 512 and please pull up defendant's exhibit 725,
God damn.
which
Let's
is
see
already
it.
in evidence
Let's see it.
Thank
Let's see
in
it.
redacted form, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You can publish.
Just side by side. You've seen this photograph as well, right?
I have.
On the third day of your direct testimony, you testified that this photograph reflected spilled wine in Penthouse 5 on May 21st, 2016, didn't you?
Again,
What?
I don't know because I'm looking at a partial picture of a floor. So unless you remove the metadata you've covered up, we could then tell. If you
I didn't
remove-
cover it up, Your Honor.
Could we unredact
Your Honor
them so we could get
No,
context?
that's how it's in evidence.
That's how it's
All
in
right,
evidence.
Next question.
Well, the metadata next to it is so that
Ms. Heard,
to avoid this
Ms.
sort of
Heard,
confusion.
there is no question pending, and I would appreciate it if you wouldn't be making argument to the jury.
Sorry, I
It's
thought you had
inappropriate.
asked me about it.
No, I didn't ask you about anything. Let's look at your direct testimony from the
Oh
third day.
shit. Let me ask you about anything. Yeah. Now she's the expert on metadata. And people said she didn't change it? Huh. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh man, she's handing out binders, study guides. Oh my god.
Thank you.
That's brutal, man. So laughing at your sister's face? I mean, it's bad. I'll say that for
Let's
sure. It really
turn
is
to
bad.
page 4750
Oh
in
my
day
god.
17 transcript.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
4750.
Oh my god. This is just, bro, like, she's going in. You know, she knows how to leak things way better. She would have been way more efficient, but she doesn't know how to leak anything. Yeah, she would have been able to do it way better. but she
Specifically line 16.
isn't that delusions of grandeur?
Do you see where Ms. Bredehoff asked you to describe for the jury what took place on May 21st, 2016?
I see that.
And do you see that your testimony is reflected about May 21, 2015?
Yes.
That follows? Okay.
Yes.
Now let's turn to page 4804. At line 14. 4804. Starting at line 14
Yes.
through 4805, line 4.
Going to what line?
Line 4 at 4805.
Oh, it's two lines then, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be?
Do you see that you're testifying that defendant's exhibit 725, which is reflected on the right side, reflects spilled wine on the floor in Penthouse 5?
That's correct.
Okay. And defendant's exhibit 512 and 725 seem to be different versions of the same picture, don't they?
That's correct.
So which is it? Which one was taken on December 15th, 2015,
Multiple.
or May 21st, 2016?
If you remove the redacted metadata, you can find out. It's right there.
Or if you're telling the truth, you would know.
Recognize a portion of of spilled wine on a floor, and I'm supposed to know off the top of my head when you've
No.
lived through 5 years of this stuff? I don't think so. That's not how that works.
Okay.
Now she's getting her mad.
Ms.
Now,
Heard, at the beginning
okay.
of your cross-examination
Your
last
Honor, may
week,
we approach?
Yes.
Oh no! See, they could tell that she was getting pressed. Like they're just trying to play for time so she can calm down. It's gonna come out, yeah. Like Camille was about to exorcise the demons out of Amber, and so you know, the lawyer team was like, "Oh my God, she's about to fucking explode. This is gonna make us look bad." What the hell is the metadata shit? Same picture? Well, yeah, it's the same picture. It's the same thing. Like it's like she wants to know. It's like you know, what's the answer on the test? Oh, I don't know. What does it say on the paper? You know, like what? How do you like? That doesn't even make sense. almost charged from? Yeah, she doesn't remember any of this stuff. It's just crazy. Can't handle the truth. It's a cropped image. Well, I think it's very obvious that she just used the same image twice. And this is what I said before, right? About her making extra evidence. And this is what happened with the pictures of her face that were so obviously proven to be false.
Right.
And
Ladies
that's
and
it.
gentlemen in the gallery, I would ask that there be no words or no phrases, no words, no sounds at all coming from you. If I hear one more sound, I will clear the gallery and we will continue this testimony without anybody in the courtroom. Understood?
I never heard
Good.
any of that.
All right, your next question.
Okay.
Ms. Heard, at the beginning of your cross-examination last week, I showed you an audio where you told Mr. Depp to tell the jury,
That's what they get.
tell the judge, tell the world that he is a victim of domestic abuse. Do you remember that?
That's correct.
And you testified you
palms.
found it hard to believe that Mr. Depp would tell the world that he's a victim of domestic abuse, didn't you?
I said I find it hard to believe that he would do that knowing that he himself had beat me up for 5 years.
But he has told the world that he's your victim of domestic abuse, hasn't he?
Well, he started to say that only recently. He didn't make that claim up until very recently. So when we signed our divorce agreement and we signed a statement saying that neither party had ever said false claims for financial gain, it was relevant and important to me because I was the only one making the accusations. I was the only one making those claims. He wasn't doing that at the time, and he signed his name to it.
You didn't expect as many people to show up and testify on his behalf that did you?
That
Incorrect.
When you told this jury under oath that you never assaulted, actually, strike that, sorry. When you told this jury under oath that you punched Mr. Depp because you thought of Mr. Depp pushing Kate Moss down the stairs, you didn't expect Miss Moss to agree to testify that never happened, did you?
Incorrect. I know how many people will come out of the woodwork to be in support of Johnny.
then
So
why
you
did
think
you say
Miss
it?
Moss
courtroom,
needs
how
to
many
come
people
out
will
of the
do that?
woodwork to testify for Mr. Depp?
Then why'd you say
Everybody
it
who
if you
was
thought
around
this?
in the 90s and the early aughts knew that rumor. I had heard that rumor from multiple people. Of course, that's what flashed through my head when my violent husband not only swung for me, but all of a sudden swung for my sister. Of course I thought of that. I did not expect her to show up or not expect her to show up. It didn't matter. It doesn't change what I believed at the time when we were on the stairs and I thought he was going to kill my sister by pushing her down the stairs.
He's gonna
You
kill
told
her
this jury
sister.
under oath that Mr. Depp was aggressive and trashed a trailer in Hicksville. You didn't expect the manager of the Hicksville property, Morgan Knight, to come forward and testify that was untrue, did you?
She's gonna
Incorrect.
continue.
I've already been through trials with this man. I know how many people will come out in support of him.
When you told this jury under oath that you had no idea that the paparazzi would be at the courthouse on May 27th, 2016, you didn't expect a TMZ employee to show up to testify that TMZ had been alerted that you would be at the courthouse and knew exactly which side of your face to take a picture of, did you?
I know how many people will come out and say whatever for him. That's his power. That's why I wrote the op-ed. I was speaking to that phenomenon. How many people will come out in support
Kate
of him
Moss
and will fall to his power?
protects domestic
He is a very
abusers.
powerful man, and people love currying favor with powerful men.
Currying
and I know
favor
that
and
firsthand.
risking
Just like
jail
Harvey
time
Weinstein.
for committing perjury?
Excuse me?
Yeah, just like Harvey Weinstein, right?
I didn't hear your
You
question.
didn't hear
Excuse
my
me?
question?
Kevin Spacey.
Ms. Vasquez, if you do mind,
Curry-
please just repeat the question. I didn't hear you.
Curry favor and commit perjury in this courtroom
I have
for
seen
a
people
powerful
do this.
man?
I have seen people do this time and time again. That's why I wrote the op-ed.
You didn't expect Ben King, the house manager in Australia, to show up from England. He flew from England to testify that Mr. Depp's fingertip was found exactly where he said it would be. Did you?
I have never heard Johnny testify to knowing where his finger was, or really, frankly, making a claim that he knew where it was when it was found. I've never heard Johnny claim that.
You didn't expect
Johnny
Keenan
doesn't-
Wyatt.
Johnny has never
Ms.
actually
Heard?
said that.
Ms. Heard.
Uh-huh.
And
Settle
I think the
down.
jury-
Yes.
Ms. Heard, there's no question.
Settle down.
You didn't expect Keenan Wyatt, Mr. Depp's longtime sound technician, to show up and testify that Mr. Depp is not being fed lines through his earpieces, but instead music, did you?
Not that it matters much, but of course I did. I know how his employees treat him.
So you
I know how
probably-
his team treats him. Of course I expected
Then
that.
why
Okay,
did
so
you
you
come up
probably
here?
expected Isaac Baruch to come and testify for Mr. Depp, right?
Yeah, I would have expected that. Anybody
I'm
would.
not sure I thought about that.
Yeah. But you didn't expect Mr. Baruch to weep for Mr. Depp after what you've put him through and so many others
Nah.
with your lies.
I
did you?
relate to Isaac because he and I are
There's
the
no
only
further
ones who
questions,
have
Your
cried
Honor.
on this stand.
Nothing
All
further.
right. Redirect.
Man. I remember Isaac. I liked Isaac. He was great.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Hurd, if Mr. Baruch felt misled, who misled him?
Johnny, and I don't blame him.
Man.
I don't blame him for crying. This is horrible.
Ms. Vasquez has suggested that you faked bruises
Got
on your
mortars
face.
outside
Yes.
Is that
B to
true?
A.
Absolutely not. I
That's-
didn't need to.
Not
Did you
100%
ever
true.
fake an injury caused by Mr. Depp?
No.
Is any of the evidence of your injuries that has been put to the jury in this trial fake?
No, absolutely not.
And to the extent that there may be some confusion over when a picture of spilled
be.
wine was taken, why might that be?
Objection,
Because there's so
lack of
many-
foundation.
Fake an injury caused
Because
Mr.
there's
Depp.
so many incidents of violence. There's so many pictures. There's so much evidence. Most people don't have this kind of evidence for years, 5 years. And when I was saying that to Johnny on the phone in that recording, I was saying for years this has been going on. And I have pictures, we have texts, we have everything. Normally you don't get this amount of evidence. That's what I was pointing out to Johnny. It would be crazy to try to challenge this in this way. It's crazy. It's easy to not know the context of a picture of spilled wine because there are so many more important details, pictures, and also so much I didn't photograph, so much I didn't
We
have
know
the
that.
presence of
Objection,
mind to
non-responsive.
document.
All right, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Did Mr. Depp abuse you physically?
Yes,
Verbally?
yes,
Emotionally?
yes,
Psychologically?
yes.
How did the threats that Mr. Depp made against you individually years ago resemble what you've endured as a result of the Depp-Waldman statements?
Beyond the scope of cross, Your Honor.
She can't identify what it is specifically from the
Johnny
Depp Waldman statement.
promised me he would ruin me. That he'd ruin my career, he'd take my life from me. Death was the only way out. And if I got out, this is what he'd do to me. He'd make me think of him every single day. He promised me global humiliation. You saw those texts? What he couldn't do, the
Followed
work of
through.
one individual, meaning Johnny, when he was
He did.
inviting a disgruntled employee over for a spot of purple to fix my flabby ass up, that revenge that he sought back then was just what he could do as an individual, calling the studio to get me fired, trying to block him.
Objection, Your Honor. Lack of foundation, speculation, hearsay,
all
non-responsive.
I'll sustain it as a non-response.
Ms. Hurd, how did those things that you just testified to that Mr. Depp did, how did those resemble what happened to you after the Depp-Waldman counterclaim statements were made?
He's trying to contextualize it so they can win the
Those are-
defamation case.
Objection, Your Honor. Lack of
There's no
foundation.
difference that she can make
She's-
off of that.
Overruled.
Thank you.
People are
Thank
hating
you,
on her
Your Honor.
before and after.
Those are just an echo of what I'm living through today. It's like what I'm living in right now. What you see in this courtroom is an echo. This courtroom and the other courtroom he dragged me into to do the same thing
He
again.
dragged me into.
That's just an echo of the violence and the abuse that I suffered within our relationship. The campaigns to have me fired, the blocking me to try to ruin my career, the threats he's made to humiliate me globally are being lived out in real time in front of you ladies.
You guys
and
gonna
gentlemen,
start
for the past
capturing
6
B, or are
weeks,
you just playing
and for the
fucking
whole
lose the
world
game?
Since our camera's here.
No further questions. Thank you so much, Amber.
All right, Ms. Hurd, you can have a seat next to your...
Play whatever you
Oh
want
my
to play.
God,
I bought the
she
game.
was
I can do what I want
upset.
with it.
She
I gotta
admitted
get
the
Tracy
op-ed
first.
was about Johnny. She did. Yeah, of course she did. Why wouldn't she? Wonder how this all started. I love how, like, she's turning this into, like, basically, and this is the same thing the entertainment individual, the woman, the anti-wizard was, like, obviously fucking flirting with, like, while she was on the stand. That's what she said, too, is that Johnny Depp is at fault because he has the audacity to defend himself from these accusations. This man could possibly be so brazen, so evil, so judgmental and fucking maniacal that he would defend himself from accusations. Oh my God, Ben staring down Amber? Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, she's gonna go, you've gotta understand, is that Amber Heard, I mean, this case is paying way more money than Aquaman, so it makes sense that she's acting better. But the fact is that I don't believe this shit. I don't. I don't fucking believe it. I think that she's full of shit because there's multiple bits of evidence that are fake. Multiple bits of evidence are fake. Yeah, of course, it's fake. How could you? That's right. I know people get mad. I see this all the time on Twitter. They're angry at me because I'll say something mean and don't care. I'm gonna keep doing it. Doesn't matter. And so anyway, yeah, I think she's full of shit. Well, not anymore because she, was on Johnny's bed. But I think I think that's it. I think that she's making it up. I think she's lying. I think that there are instances maybe where Johnny was mean to her. Now, why would that happen? I don't really know. Was she the instigator of that? Was she being rude to him and then that was with him? And then her having the audacity to tell them that she, that she was the one that couldn't get away from him. Meanwhile, Johnny Depp, there's plenty of record evidence that was recorded privately that he just wanted to have some peace away from her.
Your Honor, counterclaimant Amber Heard rests.
All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard all the evidence you're going to hear in this matter.
Yeah,
what I propose
congestion
doing is to go ahead and give you the rest of the afternoon off so you can have a good restful afternoon and evening, and we will do closing arguments tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., and then the case will be submitted to you for deliberations. Just to give you a little logistics of how that will go, tomorrow I won't give you a time limit as far as how long you can deliberate in the afternoon into the evening. I will tell you, within reason, I will tell you I do not serve dinner, so keep that in mind, okay? You will not be deliberating on Saturday or Sunday or Monday, because Monday is a holiday. I would like you to have you back here Tuesday morning, at least by 9 o'clock. If you want to come earlier, that's up to you. You can decide as a group if you want to come earlier than 9 o'clock, but you have to be here at least by 9 o'clock to resume your deliberations again. And again on Tuesday night, and if you have to go to Wednesday or Thursday.
Oh, she said you have to go to Wendy's.
The time when you take your breaks is up to you, as long as you take them together, as far as not having any deliberations unless all of the jurors are in the room at the same time. When you take your lunch is up to you. And then again in the evening, within reason, I'll let you go as long as you'd like to go, okay? So have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, okay? Do not discuss the case with anybody. Don't do any outside research.
Tomorrow fucking morning.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like, what is this here? Let me see what's gonna happen now. What's she gonna say now? They came back 10 minutes. Amber guilt. Yeah, imagine like, yeah, she's guilty of everything, and she's wrong. We don't have to be here tomorrow. I don't want to have to wake up early. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. All right, yep,
We'll
see
go
you guys
ahead
later.
and take a modified lunch recess just till 12:50. We'll
step
come back
in your
at 12:50.
dirty
We just have a few jury instructions left we have to do. Make sure we get the verdict form taken care of.
Okay.
I want you to review the laptop that we have mocked up and make sure everybody agrees what's on it. And also I want you to look through all your exhibits and make sure we're all on the same page. Before you leave, I'll make sure you have copies of the jury instructions in the order that I'm going to read them, and you should be able to prepare for your closing arguments for tomorrow, okay? All right, we'll see you at 12:50 then.
Okay, all right. We'll wait to see what they're gonna say after the after that. I'm actually really curious about this. Can Johnny use the 5 hours
teammate.
still? I am honestly not sure. Like, I'm gonna be totally real. I am not sure. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think we're just gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna give it like an hour. We're gonna go through the lunch break. We're gonna go from there. And I think that's it. And let's see here. Chat's jury simulator. Yeah, everybody thinks Amber's guilty. I know that. It's not a surprise at all. And what's this here? Prep for tomorrow's closing arguments. I'm watching. Well, I think we'll wait just to see what it's going to be, okay? They want to enjoy. Tell people they were jurors for Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, sure. It's over. Both team rest their cases. Holy shit. So tomorrow is the big day.
How is it
Man,
now?
I think
When we
straight
find
comment.
out who's
Tony?
getting fucked. Oh my God. Like, I'm actually so excited for that. I wonder what that's gonna be. Yeah, I really do. I wonder what that's gonna fucking be. Bro, without the jury waves at Johnny, Amber has 0 chance. Interesting, they rest their case with so much time left. It is very interesting. I wasn't sure that was gonna happen. That is crazy, man. We don't find out tomorrow? Wait, so tomorrow's closing arguments won't have verdict until next week, probably. Oh, I misunderstood. Okay, all right, that sounds good. It's going to be on Tuesday. All right, that's fine with me, too. Yeah, sure, it's okay. When's the Epstein trial when we need it? Well, they took care of that before it happened. Yeah, that wasn't an issue.
And I think that this is I think this is a pretty good, this is the first one of these court cases that I've really followed the whole way through, right? Like going through this whole thing and talking about it. This is the first time I've really followed one of these all the way through. And I'll be honest, I think that it's quite interesting. What I found to be most interesting is how deliberately disingenuous it is. Like how just misleading, deliberately disingenuous, how many obvious lies are put up there, and people are just fucking being misled, the jury's being misled, everything like that, like the Depp Waldman statements. Like it's just such horse shit, man. Could be next Tuesday or Friday. Yeah, I'm not sure. Did you watch the OJ trial? No, I was too young for that. I didn't see that at all. But I think that this has been pretty fucking crazy. I wonder, like, what do you guys think is going to happen? Like, not like what do you want to happen, but like what do you guys think is going to happen? Because they both have defamation cases against each other, and on top of that, you know, is one of them going to be guilty? I think both lose. I think that is probably the most I think that like in tiers of likely outcomes. Highest tier is they both lose. Second highest tier is Johnny wins. And then the tier below that is Amber wins. I think that Amber winning the defamation case is probably the least likely to occur. Closing arguments are vital? Yeah, I think so. I'll be curious to see what they say after all of this, because I really don't know. I don't know what this is going to be. I don't know what they're going to be talking about at all. Let me see here, and I'll read some more stuff as well. Johnny wins about too hard to prove defamation, though. Yeah, I think they should change that for sure. Johnny literally lost jobs because of her. She didn't lose anything. Well, she did lose a lot of things, but the things that she lost were not an outcome of Johnny's words and Johnny saying that. Amber will win this one legally. Johnny has to sprint up a 7-mile mountain. It is hard to prove defamation. That's what my understanding is, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me go back over it. I'll read a few more of these. Johnny wins, true ending. Yeah. His life is forever more changed for the worse. Yeah. Johnny's life is definitely fucked. His finger is fucked. His reputation is fucked. There will always be people that think that he did something wrong. That's fundamentally what it is. And if this never happened, his career would be in a better spot than it is now. I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. Is that, yes, obviously he won in the court of public opinion. I think most people are on his side. But the truth is that everybody would have been on his side if it wasn't for this situation, because it wouldn't have happened. So there would have never been a side to be on in the first place. So yeah, it sucks, man. I don't think Johnny proved beyond a doubt pictures were photoshopped. They didn't prove that she didn't have PTSD. They didn't prove that Amber leaked the video. Even if they did defamation, doesn't seem like it'll stick. I believe Johnny, though. I think that I feel like beyond a shadow of a doubt, the pictures were altered and modified. I think that is guaranteed. They didn't prove she didn't have PTSD. They didn't prove, I think that they didn't prove that she, yes, true. True, but I think it's more complicated than that. And they didn't prove Amber leaked the video. They didn't prove Amber leaked the video. They did not prove that Amber leaked the video, but think about it logically. So copyright is generated upon inception of the work. So the moment that the work is created, the copyright is simultaneously created with the creator of the work being the copyright holder. So if TMZ were to receive the picture, or sorry, the video or any of this information from Amber and then publish it 15 minutes later, that would imply that they had the copyright for it. So that would mean it would have to either come from Amber or Amber's publicist or someone very close to her. And that was the what do you call it? The protocol that TMZ had. So logic, like, he did not say that she leaked it, but based off of what he said, if you understand how the copyright works, that is clearly the conclusion. That's what it is. In order for him to win, the jury will have to unanimously side with him, which I don't think is possible. I find that to be unlikely. Yeah, it's just because it's hard to do that, right? Have everybody agree on the same thing. That implies TMZ isn't allowed to publish unless Amber sent it directly or gave them permission to use it. Yes, that's exactly what it implies. You are 100% right. They all but said it. We'll see what happens whenever this break is over. I'm not sure what it's going to be. Amber said that's why I wrote the op-ed about him. Well, it was obvious. So, like, here are some things that I think are pretty much true, like, for sure, okay? I think that it is for sure true that, it's for sure true that Amber wrote the op-ed about Johnny Depp. I think that she knew what it was. I think that she linked it. I think that it's also for sure true that the photos were submitted in a way that was disingenuous. Yeah, she admitted it. Yes, she admitted that happened, and that's all there is to it. It's not unanimous because this isn't a criminal trial. We'll see what happens. Amber admitted the op-ed was about Johnny, so they basically have to find out if it was made with malicious intent that it damaged his career. I mean, I think that if you contextualize it, it's very easy to say that it was made with malicious intent. It's very, very easy to say that. Bottom line is it's just a tragedy, and she's wildly toxic, manipulative, and abusive. Like Johnny, as much as he's an addict with anger issues. Yeah, I think he got upset a lot. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And they'll be appealed regardless of the outcome. I don't know if they're going to appeal it or not. I think it depends. The best argument, what's this here? Give me 1 second. All you need, though, is to prove defamation, is her admitting she wrote it about him. That's not necessarily true. Don't you find it funny all the people in her life need to talk and touch her a certain way or she'll have panic attacks, but it didn't happen once in court? No, neither did it happen at any point in time around this time. Like, there's not any videos of this happening or anything like that. And it's like this is the divorce proceedings, and it's like her being, you know, super happy with her friends outside. Does that look like somebody who's like traumatized to the point where people have to like walk on eggshells around them? I would say no. And I do find it to be very, very like just bullshit, like basically, right? Look at the video of the dude destroying Amber's lawyer yesterday, and the audience reacting is amazing. Oh, I've seen plenty of that stuff. Sure, I have. And let's see here. She seems insane herself to martyr herself if she loses the case. I don't really think so. I don't think so at all. Like, I think Amber should just go and deal with her baby and just do something else. Like, just move on with your life. Like, obviously, this is really bad.
Now, I will stop at nothing. Let's see if Mollusk has a pair. Come see me face...
Holy fuck, that freaked me out. Like that now? Bro, I thought that was God. Bro, I thought that was God. Like, I did. I was like, how did he show... Like, now is he gonna finally tell us what happened? Like, what is it? Yeah, it's just nuts, man. And, holy shit, dude. It freaked me out, too. It did. Attorney here, evidence is done. Closing arguments are not timed. They'll likely take a good portion tomorrow. They're trying to tie everything together. Jury will take at least till Tuesday morning to deliberate. There's a good chance I could probably see it going on until then. Yeah, definitely. Let's see the rest of these. Maybe Johnny will win, but not receive $50 million. Maybe he won't receive the amount of money. I don't think that he will. To be honest with you, I don't think Johnny Depp is going to get the money regardless, and I don't think that money really matters. The reason why he's not going to get the money is very simple. It's because Amber doesn't have the money to give him. That's it. And so a lot of times, like, you can't make people sell their house if it's their primary residence. You can't do a lot of things to get the money. Yeah, she doesn't have the money to give him. So it's not going to be... This is a theoretical, a theoretical $50 million, not a real $50 million. Didn't Dr. Curry prove Amber didn't have PTSD according to the test as well? There's evidence that she was attempting to manipulate the result according to the test. Not necessarily. She didn't prove that she didn't have PTSD, but what she did prove is that the test did not account for PTSD that could have been an outcome of childhood trauma versus an outcome of Johnny Depp. And I think that's fundamentally what the argument really was. It wasn't about does Amber Heard have PTSD or not. It was about is the PTSD that Amber Heard has a direct result of Johnny Depp. I think that's it. He said no matter what happens, he wanted the world to see the truth of all this. I don't think he cares about the legal outcome nearly as much. Well, and I think that goal has been achieved. I feel like almost everybody here and everybody that's seen this and has talked about this and all of this stuff, people have pretty much come to the same conclusion. Yeah, they've all pretty much came to the same conclusion. They kind of, like, I mean, obviously, like, my stream is going to be, like, I've been pro Johnny Depp, and I think that my stream is going to reflect that, right? It just makes sense. Like, if you go into some feminist stream that believes Amber Heard, I think most people there are going to believe Amber Heard because that's the audience that you cultivate, right? Sure. But I think that if you look at the general population, overwhelming majority also believe Johnny Depp. Yeah, I think so. I think also, like, talking about, like, being biased, unbiased, etc. I know this has been a conversation point for many people. Lots of people have been talking about this. I want to kind of put this in context and perspective. I think that if you say that you're unbiased after evidence is presented to you, being unbiased becomes a bias because you are refusing to look at what the evidence presents. And it's like, oh, I don't know whether the earth is round or flat. Well, then look it up and see for yourself. The evidence is there. Yeah, the evidence is there. Yeah, there's evidence right there. It says it's fucking round. There's a bunch of different reasons for it, and just look it up. So it's not like, it's not fence sitting or anything like that. It's willful ignorance. I think that's what it primarily is. The misconception is people believe Depp, think he's completely clean and innocent. Nobody thinks that. No, I don't think so. I think Depp, I think he's obviously a fucking drug addict. This is bad. I don't do any drugs. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do anything, okay? So this is from my perspective. But it's his right to do that. It's his life, and, you know, he lives like that, and that is what it is. It's all there is to it. And I was not biased until into the trial, but I believe Depp is going to win and Heard abused him. Well, I think that she did. I don't think that anybody, in my opinion, I don't think anybody's even disagreeing that Amber Heard abused Johnny Depp. I think that who started it and how much of it was a back and forth. That's what I would say the majority of it really is. And yeah, straight edge, that's what I do, yeah. Did you catch Rotten Man didn't include sexual abuse in his list of abuses? Well, I think that a big difference there is he said abuse by Johnny Depp, right? I think that's a big difference too. What's this here? Hasman Funerals about equality, it's not necessarily bad. I think that there have been a lot of people that use feminism and have co-opted it to push an agenda against men. Whether you think it's about equality or not, I don't want to argue about that again. I think that there are a lot of people that have co-opted this and pushed and used it to push an agenda against men in a lot of ways. If you don't think that's the way that you see feminism, great, I'm happy for you. But I do think that the people like that do exist. So I'm not gonna, like, let's just call a spade a spade. Like, that's it. And so anyway, I don't think that this is necessarily, and I find it to be incredibly discrediting for a lot of people who purport themselves to be a feminist. They purport themselves to be some sort of, you know, like, advocate for like women's rights or to help women or anything like this, because I think that the most damaging thing here for women's rights and people believing women isn't Johnny Depp. It's not me covering the trial. It's not people on social media. It's Amber Heard. It's Amber Heard providing a story, expecting everybody to believe it, providing minimal or altered or no evidence, and then acting like she's the victim. Like, she's the one that's going to shed a shadow of doubt on every single one of these cases in the future. And this is what's going to happen, is that the next one of these cases comes up, right? Like, there's like the Marilyn Manson case that came up. Well, guess what? From what I heard from the Marilyn Manson case, I don't know a lot about it, and we'll have to see. Everybody deserves their day in court. But I think that he's probably more likely than not guilty. I do. It seemed like he was. There was a lot of people that corroborated the story. It was really shocking for me. Because, like, I always thought Marilyn Manson was like this, you know, really like well-spoken, nice, mild-mannered guy behind closed doors. So to hear this stuff was really kind of a shock to me. I always liked Marilyn Manson. So maybe it's not true, and that's why we have the court, right? And we make sure. But I think that to a degree, people will look at the Marilyn Manson case. This is the point that I'm getting at, right? It's not about my opinion. His case was dismissed. Let's say it went to court. Regardless of the evidence, people would contrast or compare it with the Johnny Depp case and categorically assume that Marilyn Manson was having the same thing happen to him that Johnny Depp had happened to him. Do you see what I'm saying? So they now use this case, the public uses this case as a general precedent to discount future abuse stories.
I bet the dude with the sticky bombs on the other team had twice that.
The case against him was dismissed. Well, yeah, okay, that's fine.
Bombs. I was like,
and what's this here? Marilyn's quite sketchy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I saw like interviews with him, and you know, I liked his music, and so yeah, I mean, I don't know every single little thing about him, but yeah, I liked him. It's harder to say that. Rip Ray Liotta, the good fella. I'll go ahead and I'll look at this in a second. That guy died. What the fuck? Let me see. Give me one minute, and I'm gonna look into this real quick. Ray Liotta. I don't see it anywhere here. I'll wait for just a little bit, and then that's it. And so, yeah, I just, Cuba Gooding was good to me? Yeah. And man said, what's this here? Is guilty? Fuck that dude. It's impossible to really know. Like, I guess I don't see it on Twitter, but yeah, that fucking sucks. Like, I don't know. It's just sad. Mudahar, some ordinary gamers made a video about you. Check it out. Drama. Oh, I actually saw that video. I watched it last night whenever it came out. It was a video, so there's been obviously a lot of conversation recently about like React content and React meta on like YouTube and Twitch, etc. Mudahar, who's he's like some ordinary gamers, we've watched a lot of his videos before, made a video basically negative about React content, using me as an example. It was kind of weird, right? Because he used me kind of as an example of, you know, oh, well, it's good React content because there's a lot of value add to it, but it's also bad because, you know, we use the same title as him. So I actually DM'd Mudahar, and I wanted to work it out with him because I like him, I respect him a lot. And so, you know, if he'd want me to take those videos down, I offered that to him. And, you know, if there's something else he wants, I could do that too. As I said, I'm a fan of the guy, and so that's what it comes down to. As I said, I think that if the, what do you call it? If the conversation about React content and React meta becomes more prevalent, I will make a video, and I will explain my point of view with, like, graphs and data and stuff of why I think that it's a positive. But I watched a little bit of the Dark Viper video. I disagree with some of his evidence. I think some other parts of it are a little bit compelling, but it's just that right now I've been so busy with a bunch of other stuff that I just haven't really had time to do it. So, like, if it becomes a bigger issue, I will make a full video on it and explain, because I do think that the evidence is on my side and I can prove it. But I would prefer to just not have to deal with it. But ultimately, as I said, with all the React content, I think that it should be the right of the person who's being reacted to, unless they're trying to shut down criticism of their work in a constructive manner. I think it should be their right to ask somebody else not to do it if they so choose to. And I think also, I've said this many times, that whenever you do something against a person's will, you make that person your enemy. And I don't want to make anybody my enemy. I like these guys. So if they don't want my stuff up there for their videos, I would never do it. It's okay. There's millions of videos on YouTube. I can watch those instead. So that's one thing that I would look at it. And yeah, but how they know? Well, I can look at a lot of it stuff, right? And the player at the game. Well, I mean, I think that it comes down to that, sure. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that, you know, that's what it was. And I did watch it, and as I said, I could contact them, and I'm sure we'll probably work it out. It's fine. And I'd even be willing to, like, I mean, as I said, if it becomes a bigger issue, I'd even be willing to have a conversation on stream about it. I don't like yelling matches or, like, arguments or anything like that. So, honestly, like, Dark Viper, you know, he's had some pop-offs before. I have, too, to be fair. And so if I ever do that, I just, you know, have a conversation with them. I mean, maybe you could call it a debate, right? But, you know, a conversation about it. I think that's the best thing. And so I don't really look at this, like, I don't look at it as like drama or anything like that. It's just a conversation, and I'm not going to get mad about it. And, you know, that's all there is to it. So I don't get stressed out or mad about that or anything. Yeah, it's okay. A lot of people prove React content increases user content, reacted to it. Ludwig made his video about random YouTube account trying to grow it naturally. Yeah, and Dark Viper made a video response to that, disproving it. I haven't seen that yet, so I can't really judge the authenticity of the disproval or not. And let's see, Manson's case was dismissed because it went past the statute of limitations, and that's the unfortunate reality. And I think that's what happened with Bill Cosby too, is that a lot of his cases went past the statute of limitations as well. And I've said before, I thought Bill Cosby was guilty. I still do think he was guilty. You know, it's like if it looks like a duck, it acts like a duck, it quacks like a duck, maybe it's a duck. But maybe whenever there's 40 ducks, maybe there's a reason why there's ducks. You know what I mean? Maybe these ducks came from somewhere. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe there's like a duck production factory called Bill Cosby. Like, it's, you know, a little bit fucking obvious. Bill Cosby's not going to be fair trial. There was enough to free him. Guy's like fucking 86 years old. His dick doesn't work anyway. Just let him live out his final fucking years, you know, in solitude or, you know, with his family. He's not going to hurt anybody. He's going to be dead soon anyway, right? And, yeah, it's just the truth, okay? I'm not really a big fan of trying to, you know, put 86-year-old people in jail. You know, I just, like, there's a certain thing that you can say, it's like cruel and unusual punishment, right? It's like, is this really a bad thing for some people, right? Like these pieces of shit that shoot up schools. Like, what if we did crucify him? What if we did set him on fire or something like that? And there's a part of me that thinks, yeah, it's a good idea. But at the end of the day, I don't want to have to draw that line with some people and not others, and that's why I think everybody has agreed that, you know, let's just not do it at all. Yeah, let's not do it at all. Is there a rapist? Yeah, no, that's right. Clip it? Yeah. Whoa. Oh, horrible? Just stop. Let me repeat myself. I think, and I would be okay if they literally crucified school shooters. That's what I said. I wasn't accidentally saying this. This wasn't like a turn of phrase. I literally meant this. Yes, that's right. I think so. Or other things too. I mean, I'm sure we can be very creative. But yeah, and absolutely. And school shooter love it. Bad idea. Oh yeah, because you think he's like Jesus. That's a good point. And that's probably another reason why we don't do it. Is things like that. Sure. And absolutely. And I don't really care about those assholes. I think that's the most important thing to say, is not give a fuck about them and do that as much as possible. Yeah, bring back the rough shit. But yeah, I mean, I have no problem being Old Testament with things. I think sometimes that's the right option. Meet savagery with savagery sometimes. And it's okay. And anyway, so what was I talking about before then? Oh, right, about the trial. So I think that really there are a lot of people that kind of like use these different movements in order to mask themselves as a person who is not a bad person. And I think that, for example, there are people who kind of like use a Me Too movement, or they use like a feminism movement, which in general, I don't think these are bad movements at all. I think that there are people that co-opt them for bad reasons. And I think an example of this too, the best example that I can use that's very recent, especially now since there's just been news about it, is Kevin Spacey. Immediately, as soon as Kevin Spacey was accused of being basically a creepy fucking molester, I don't know the exact details, as soon as he was accused of that, he immediately used the LGBT flag to hide behind and say, wait a minute, I'm gay, it's okay, to try to like garner sympathy for himself. And I feel like these people should be excised from these communities even harsher than people that are just hateful, because it's even worse, really. And that's what I think. Is excise not a word? I thought it was. Either way, he was, what's this here? He's actually discharged today. That's why I brought it up, because somebody said that. And we'll wait to see what this is, too. And let's see this. And Kevin Spacey has gotten in trouble again today for former accounts of sexual assault in the UK. Yeah, why is that? Well, it's because he's a fucking sexual assault piece of shit. That's what people do. With a lot of these guys, it's not just one time, especially whenever they're famous, because it gives them access to doing it multiple times. And the truth is that Amber is right about one thing, is that there are people like this that are powerful that do get protected. Harvey Weinstein had been a piece of shit for years. Jeffrey Epstein had been a piece of shit for years. And just recently, finally, we put that to bed. And you're definitely right. You're 100% fucking right that happens. And it's awful. Decades even, yeah. And this guy gets protected. And it's like, I don't even know if Harvey Weinstein went to jail. I have no idea. But it's like, what if he comes back and shit like that, right? This was Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, a lot of the stuff that happened with him is not as well documented, because he's smarter than they are, and so he destroyed the evidence. And so yeah, I mean that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Yeah, Bill Clinton destroyed the evidence, including other people, probably. Spacey's in, yeah, sure. Ray Lottie, let me see if I can figure out what this is and see it for myself. I know, obviously, let me see what this is. Damn. Yeah, there you guys go. Yep, Ray Liotta, known for his roles in Goodfellas, Field of Dreams, Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, has passed away at 67. It's, man, like, it's like he was one of those guys that, like, growing up, he was in a lot of movies, and he was never, like, one of those guys, at least in my mind, where I recognized him immediately as, like, oh, there's Ray Liotta, but he was just a guy that was there, you know, and, like, oh, it's that guy, right? It's fucking sad, man, it is. It's awful. I mean, like, I don't know really even what else to say about that. Goodfellas was great. Yeah, it just fucking sucks, man. And, yeah, just remember the B movie? I never saw the B movie. I heard it was a D movie, so I didn't watch it. And so, yeah, always played a gangster. Yeah, he pretty much did. You're right. And,
it just sucks, man. It really does. What really is kind of weird to see is like how comparatively young the guy is, right? I mean, he's 67 years old. He's not, you know, like 95 or something like that. He's, you know, he's comparatively a young man. He's still, right? He's got plenty of gas in the tank, or he's supposed to. I don't know what happened to him. I have no idea, but it's just scary to see something like that happen, right? Yeah, it's older than my dad. That freaks me out for sure, absolutely. And what the fuck? He's filming a movie apparently. Died in his sleep. Heart problems. Well, I mean, that's probably the best thing that could happen. Yeah, I mean, Dexman, if you don't mention it, you're a streamer household, really killing small channels by reacting to their content. Well, I think that also, like, if you want to go back to the React content and talk about that a little bit more, is that I do not think that all reaction content is created equal. And I think I don't find this to be like a, like, I would have easily said this, right? And there are some people that react to content and then they walk away from the screen. They basically use the video as a way to entertain their audience while they're not on their stream. I think that's weird. I think that's bad. I don't like that. It's a lunch show. It's not on. It literally says lunch show. So yeah, I don't think that's good. I don't think it's a big deal if it's not on Twitch. Like, for example, there's always been like a conversation. You remember example of this is Cutie Cinderella, whenever there was the Streamer Awards and she asked people not to react to it live and all that, right? And we've had a few cases of this too, and I think that if you are live streaming a live stream from somebody else, you can make an argument that that can siphon views away from the original stream, because both of them have to be consumed at the time that they are created, and it's not realistic to expect an individual to consume both streams simultaneously. Does that make sense? So I think that you can make a very strong argument that re-streaming somebody else's content is not good, right? And so anyway, my perspective on this is this, right? Whenever I did the interview with Chris Wilson from Path of Exile, Quinn messaged me as if he had to. He's like, can I restream? I'm like, of course you can fucking restream it. I don't care. You can restream my whole fucking stream. It doesn't matter to me. And that's what it is. And everybody, I let everybody restream, right? So that was the same with that one. With my, what do you call it? My interview with Ian recently, I let everybody restream that as well. And to the best of my knowledge, and as far as I know, and what I will push for, and I think that, like, by the way, I'm not trying to, like, set something up. I'm like 99% sure. We're going to let everybody restream the Games Expo in its entirety. And this is an event that OTK is putting on. Like, we want everybody to restream it because that's what we do. Content. Like, that's what it comes down to. And, yeah, I always have had this mindset. It's the same as other people will pull my stream up whenever I've been talking about this trial. I think that's great. I think it's totally okay. And I think on YouTube, it's harder to make an argument as things acting as market replacements, because you can watch more than one video about the same subject. And I think that with some React content, it can actually become bad if the person is not adding in a lot of commentary or not really transforming the video in a certain way. Like, what is the value add that, let's say, me watching a video is? And I'll show you an example of, like, what I think is a good idea, right? So this is an idea of anti-work. So this is a video I did, it was a while ago, like 3 months ago. And this video, this entire video here, this is a 36-minute video. 35 minute and 59-second video. The original video that I watched was 3 minutes. It was 3 minutes. Yes, the same shirt. Yeah, well, this is only 3 months ago, so of course I was wearing the same shirt. Why wouldn't I be? Yeah, right, yeah, it's just 3 minutes. So I think that to the amount that you actually transform the content, like somebody can watch the original video and then watch my reaction to it, and I think that will, what do you call it? That will be a value add. Can I react to your reacts? Absolutely. I let people, the thing is with YouTube, right, and this is always how I've approached YouTube, is that I let anybody re-upload. We can't do this anymore because YouTube has a duplicate content policy that gets you demonetized and banned. And so that's why I originally made the Asmongold TV YouTube channel.
But for a little bit of history for you guys, because I know there's a lot of new people in the trial and everything, you guys might not know like all my history. Well, what I used to do is I told people, if you want to upload my content onto YouTube and you want to make money off of it, I want you to do that. Go on ahead and do it. I'm not going to take a single cent from you. I'm not going to do anything like that, because the way I look at it is you're advertising me and I'm getting something out of this. And there was a guy, I'm not going to say which one it was, he told me 1 month he made $28,000 literally just re-uploading my content onto YouTube. And then the month after that, it was not Cat Danny. It actually wasn't Daily Dose or Cat Danny. It was the older editors. And so this happened. Then the next month he made over 30. And so he's making like multiple six-figure salaries out of doing this. I never claimed any of the revenue. So this has always been my approach to things, is that I view this as a positive. I've literally lost millions of dollars because of my viewpoint on this. But what I'd say that I've gained instead is exposure and value. And I think that it's not a surprise that those channels started popping off at the same time that my channel went from getting 8,000 to like, 7, 8, maybe 10,000 viewers on a good day to getting 20 and 30,000 within a couple of months. And I've never really gone down from there either. It's because the YouTube content does draw in audiences, it does bring people to the original creators, and I think that I'm evidence of that, and I think there's a bunch of other people that, if you want to have this conversation, I can prove it with. But anyway, as I said, I spend a lot of time looking at graphs, talking about graphs, thinking about graphs, and that kind of stuff. YouTube Andes. The truth is, so I want to just go ahead and show you guys something. So let's say I stream 6 days a week, right? And I stream 10 hours a day. And I think I get usually like 2 to 3 million views, like in each time that I stream. So let's say it's 2 million views, just to keep it easy. So 6 times 4 with the amount of weeks, 6 times 4, it's 24. 2, that's 48. So that's 48 million views a month, right? So if you compare that to my YouTube channel, at a very bare minimum, is going to get over 50 million views on just one YouTube channel. That's just simply one YouTube channel, and I have multiple YouTube channels. So, I actually am more popular on YouTube than I am on Twitch. That's the main thing. Found your stream looking for Twitch personality, talking about the case, looked over your content, liked it a lot. New petition, remove Dr. Don Hughes from psychological organizations. I highly doubt that's going to happen. Yeah, I don't think so at all. Would you under oath say that you're an expert? In social media and like, YouTube and stuff like this, yeah, I would say that I'm pretty much an expert. Yeah, I mean, I probably want to, I'd obviously research what it was, but yeah, I think that I am. I've been on YouTube for years. I know a lot about it. I've made videos. Absolutely. If I'm not an expert, then who is? Besides Mr. Beast, of course. Right? But there's a few people, but I think that I too am also an expert. That's it. And also, like, yeah. And do you have certifications? Yes, I'm certified, 100%. Actually, I think I did I was originally going to get the Google AdWords thing, but I just never really did that at all. YouTube videos are shorter. You might have more hours watched on Twitch, right? I mean, if you want to be honest, like, yes, like that, I don't know. It's hard really for me to say about that. Are you board certified? Well, have I published information and data about it being board certified? That's what you really need to know. The only thing you're missing is translated channels. There were a lot of people that wanted to re-upload my content whenever I was doing Final Fantasy in Japanese, and then also people that wanted to re-upload it in Korean whenever I was doing Lost Ark. It was very common, and I just pretty much said do whatever the fuck you want, right? And so that's what I've always pretty much done. And that's pretty much how I see it. I think that a lot of the context and the arguments, but going back to the React channels and like good reacts and bad reacts. Now, I think that in general, the more commentary and things like that you provide, I would say that there's a trend, a very strong trend, that deviates and makes it much more different than the original, and it makes it much more transformative. On top of that, I would also say that the way that you promote the content creator is a big factor as well. And I try to make sure that whenever I watch a video, I link the person's channel, and I explain kind of what they're about. And let's go back over here with your height. I'm like around 6'3" or so. I'm pretty tall. I'm not like ridiculously like crazy fucking tall, but I'm pretty tall. Yeah. Let me go back over here and I'll double check this real quick, and I'll see what people are looking at here. Okay. What is this? I'm trying to scroll down because people keep sending me stuff, and I don't really know exactly what this is going to be. There is like a million people that like tweet stuff at me, etc. And yeah, okay, there's not really a lot going on. It's whatever. I mean, obviously people send stuff to me a lot, but you know, I can't look at every single little thing. The contention seems like you're mistaking advertising for your Twitch to watching someone else's content, and it's entirely on your stream. Yeah, I don't think that the length of watching it has any factor to it. I don't think so, because somebody's not going to sit through a React video and then wait for the pauses and sit through an extra 20 minutes of commentary unless they're interested in that intrinsically rather than just the contents of the original video. And that's why I used examples of like the longer size of the video and the longer length of the video as being that. And I think actually even what I saw in Dark Viper's case is that the length of the content that's used is not necessarily an indicator as to whether it's fair use or not. And I think maybe it was Mudahar or Dark Viper might have stated that there were actually court cases where using even like a small excerpt from a book was considered not fair use because it was considered the heart of the work. So I don't think that's true. I think that the size of the content that you use, there is of course a spectrum on this and a correlation on this, but I don't think that in entirety or not in entirety is a definite yes or no thing in terms of is this fair use or not. In my opinion, this is one of the big factors I've used. Twisted Sister, thank you very much for the 10 gifted subs. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. The other reason I think that as well, actually that completely distracted me. What was I going to say? About those two things, the amount of length used, fuck. I forgot what I was gonna go to. It distracted me because I was thinking about the song. I thought about the "We're Not Gonna Take It," and I was playing the music video in my head. And I just, oh my god, fair use. Yeah, I know it was fair use. I don't even remember what, like, I have no idea. Yeah, it's just. I totally fucking forgot what I was going to say, to be honest. But yeah, I do think that that kind of stuff, the amount of length that you have into it, obviously that is a factor. But I think also it's, I don't want to do anything against somebody's will. So like, for example, if somebody, like let's say I thought I was completely, like I thought 100%, like I'm totally right that I can react to this and it's completely transformative, completely fair use. There's no way I can lose the case, and I won't even get sued for it with a 100% certainty. I still would not react to that video if the person didn't want me to, because I don't find that to be a beneficial activity for me. I don't think this is going to help me, and I don't want to generate animosity. I don't want to make enemies. I don't like making enemies. Just like with the WoW YouTuber? Yeah, sure. And anyway, how do you get clips out so fast, kind of? I've got great editors. That's how. Yeah, that's about it. Fair use is hard to prove, hard to measure overall. Oh, it is. Absolutely it is. And that's why I just don't want to, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to have any problems with that one bit or another. According to Today, Amber replied to Camille with the leaked video. You're very wrong about that. Amber said if I wanted to leak things, I could have done it in a more effective way a lot sooner. But previously, didn't she say she wouldn't know how to leak something? It wasn't previously. It was 5 seconds after she said the first thing. She's obviously just full of shit. And she got pressed on it because she knew that she was going to potentially get exposed for it. And so that's what people do, is they start squirming and getting upset or stressed out or whatever. And then it kind of fucks them up, man. That's all it comes down to. That's what I think happens a lot. No, it's just empty as shit. Yeah, it's true. And could you take your editor's name so they get the credit? I think my editors, it's Daily Dose and Cat Danny. I don't really go back and I don't tell you guys a lot of stuff about them. I'm just gonna say in general, right, is that they do a tremendous job, and I think that you know, they're great. They're amazing. Like, yeah, that's all it comes down to. Karma's a bitch. Yep, exactly. And let's see here. How does she think that she does whenever the stand is believable? I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know how she thinks, because she could be so delusional that she legitimately thinks that she's winning or she's coming out ahead. And I wouldn't be surprised about that. Honestly, I would not at all. Chuck Umbrella Guy, Twitter, Australia, no phone has been seen. Bro. Guys, she's lying. Like, you know it, I know it, everybody knows it. You're editing midstream, making uploading clips, videos on her channel. What I find to be fucking hilarious is the fact that we are uploading clips. Twisted Sister, again, with the 10 subs, I appreciate that. We are beating the major news publications. It's like, imagine losing to like one guy, like one gets. I think whenever Kat Danny first started doing the videos for me, he was like 15 or something, right? And so imagine losing to one kid back in fucking Russia. Like, yeah, imagine you lose that one person. And this is a massive multi-billion-dollar news network. But yeah, we've been popping off. She also said TMZ received the full video. How would she know that? Well, how would she know that? Well, it's simple. It's because she leaked it to them. Yeah, it's that simple, obviously. What's this here? You can lie all want. It still has to be proven with evidence. Yeah, that's the way I see it too. And she's super delusional when pressed on the same photo being submitted 2 different days. She's hyper-focused on getting the date wrong, asking for it to be published. Well, the reason why she's asking for it to be published is that way she can say when it was, because she doesn't remember. I think that was actually a very good point. Amber Heard is more delusional than your worst Twitch chatters. I think it's probably a race to the bottom for that one. It's hard really to say. For the clip channels making the rounds where I work in the Middle East, you're international. I think it's pretty fucking funny. Like, I think this and last week are probably the first time I've had more moms watching me than Hassan. Like, I feel good about that. It's like, I don't know how many people have told me this month, they're like, bro, came downstairs and your mom, or sorry, my mom was watching your videos. And I'm like, is that right? It's just so fucking funny to me, man. I take it quite as much as a compliment. It's great. I'll have to look and see what the analytics were. Because just so you guys know, I have 4% female viewers on YouTube. And this was before any of this trial stuff or anything like that. So before Final Fantasy, I'll tell you guys, before Final Fantasy, the amount of female viewers I had was like, 2%? Yeah, 1 to 2. Yeah, it was like Fandy and 5 others. Yep, exactly. Yeah, it was like 1 to 2%. It was extremely, extremely low. Apparently, going big dick is a little bit gender exclusive, and so you don't see as many women coming in to watch that. That's basically what it is, I guess. I mean, obviously, this is mainly a male space, right? We talk about abrasive stuff. We've got a bunch of people that are assholes and